While Catalans swapped horror stories about police beatings on Monday, the Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, continued to insist that the scenes at voting centers on Sunday were a reasonable reaction to an illegal referendum. But will pictures of bloodied grandmothers and allegations of police groping women turn his own supporters against Spain's embattled leader? A first glimpse of the reaction from Rajoy's own constituency came from Spain's conservative press, which bristled with indignation, but rarely at police behaviour. Primary blame for the ugly scenes lay with the Catalan regional government and its insistence on defying the courts in order to organise the vote, most claimed, thereby forcing Rajoy to send in 10,000 officers from the National Police and Civil Guard. Government argues that any referendum on Catalan independence would be illegal because the country's 1978 constitution makes no provision for a vote on self-determination. The Spanish Constitutional Court, which has suspended the referendum law pushed through the Catalan parliament earlier this month, is looking into whether the law breaches the constitution. In March this year, the former Catalan president Artur Mas was banned from holding public office for 2 years after being found guilty of disobeying the Constitutional Court by holding a symbolic independence referendum 3 years ago. Was this helpful? Thank you for your feedback. Guilt for the absurdity seen in Catalonia lies only with those who organized it, wrote Bieito Rubido, editor of the ABC daily Seditious. People in Catalonia have perpetrated a coup d'état dressed up as an exercise in democracy. Most commentators on the political right echoed Rubido's line that this had been an illegal act of aggression against the Spanish state and a democratic constitution, with digital news site El Español also accusing organizers of breaking almost all the rules that they themselves had established for the referendum. But in an editorial headline, "The worst way to prevent a coup d'état," El Español was heavily critical of the way Rajoy had handled the matter. Criticism was based on Rajoy's long history of holding out against taking action until he wants, or is forced, to do so. He has acted badly and late, in line with his tendency to let problems fester, El Español said. But the newspaper's criticism suggested that, rather than soften, Rajoy should have been quicker and tougher, targeting Catalonia's Prime Minister, Carles Puigdemont, and other separatist leaders, rather than their voters. The result was that he had handed police the almost impossible task of preventing a referendum that was already underway, obliging them to use force.